Welcome to Mediocre Main Character. Today we're playing Matches and Matrimony, a Pride and Prejudice tale. It's basically a marriage sim based on the works of Jane Austen. We need to boost our willpower, so we need to read books, and we need to be more talented, so study the arts, and kind. Okay, we're writing, we're reading, we're chilling, we're calling on our neighbors, and reading some more. But the talk of the town has been that of a military regiment coming to winter at Meryton. So last chapter, we met Mr. Denny, who is part of the militia. With the impending arrival of the whole regiment, Lydianne has been quite eager to go to town daily to learn something of the officers, their names, connections. Yeah, our sister Lydianne is a wild child, free spirit type. With Lydianne, it's boys, 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 and she's a lot like our mom. It has been a topic most enthusiastically discussed by my mother and Lydianne at every opportunity. Obviously, our dad is more like us, or rather, we're more like our dad. You know, he just likes to read and he's really witty and he makes one-liner quips. I believe he might rather hear of Jane's dance partners rather than the regiment. However, even hearing more about the regiment seems more agreeable to father than listening to Mr. Collins. See, even our dad is sick of Mr. Collins. So in case you missed my recap, Mr. Collins is our sleazy cousin whose heart is set on marrying us. There we go. So father tried to get rid of Mr. Collins by foisting him on us. So now we have to go to town with Mr. Collins and Lydianne. Are you coming to town? Yes, I am, baby. I'll be ready in just a moment. What would happen if I said no? Hold on. Yeah, Lydianne will be stuck with Mr. Collins. Okay. We're always lecturing our sister and anyone who listen. Yes, yes, yes. Great. Okay, so not going out helped us replenish our energy, but nothing interesting happened. So let's go back and make a better choice. Yeah, we're going. Our sister is so thirsty for the officers. I get it, you know, she's got the hots for men in uniform, I guess. So Mr. Denny's back from London, and last chapter she was like, Denny, don't forget to get me a little something, flirting away. Lydianne was constant. No one could falter that. I just wish she were constant to something other than intrigues. Why not? Lydianne's fun. Okay, now we're out and about, a disagreeable acquaintance. Oh, mediocre, look at this bonnet. I simply must have it. Is it truly that much better than the last three you were sure you must have? Really, we're such a wet blanket. Our sister just wants to have a good time, and we're just like too sensible. Look, there's Mr. Denny on the other side of the way. And who's that with him? He's no acquaintance of ours. New character. Lydianne's ran off already. She's out there. Lydianne's living our best life. We're just humming and eyeing and, ooh, what should we do? Let's be sensible. Let's lecture everybody. And our sister's out there living her best life. Under the pompous guise of needing to look in a shop across the way, Lydianne immediately made her way to where the gentlemen were to learn the identity of this new stranger. I hope it's a love interest. It could total want of propriety. However, as we were in Lydianne's company, we were obliged to follow her. Oh, glitchy, glitchy. Good day, Mr. Denny. There's Mr. Denny. He's kind of a creepy looking fella. Let me introduce you to our newest officer, Mr. George Wickby. Wickby. There's a Mr. Wickham in Pride and Prejudice. Let's continue. Mr. Wickby was certainly a welcome introduction. Haba, haba. His appearance was greatly in his favor. Okay, he's supposed to be hot. He's supposed to be a hot guy, okay? So forgive the artwork. Let's just use our imagination and pretend that he's a hot guy. His appearance was greatly in his favor. He had all the best part of beauty, a fine countenance, a good figure, and very pleasing address. In fact, he was in need of only regimentals to make him completely charming. So we're simping for Whitby. Ladies, it is a pleasure to meet you at last. Mr. Denny has spoken very highly of you. You know, honestly, I think he's the only character so far that doesn't look super creepy when he smiles. He looks a little sketchy, like he's hiding something, but his smile isn't creepy. It's a big improvement from like Mr. Collins. Then for Mr. Denny's sake, we shall have to work extra hard to not let you down. I can't imagine you could, raises an eyebrow. Mr. Whitby continued with a happy readiness of conversation that was, at the same time, perfectly correct and unassuming. There's a typo. The whole party were still standing and talking together very agreeably when additional unexpected visitors arrived. Bingley! Bingley's here! Look, we've been waiting for a long time. We last saw Mr. Bingley in chapter 2, I think. We went over to his place because our sister was over the day before and she caught a cold. It's a whole thing. Watch the video if you haven't. Miss Bennet, it's good to see you. Thank you, sir. Have you been introduced to Mr. Denny? No, I have not had the pleasure. It's nice to meet you. Having introduced Mr. Denny, propriety would indicate that I allow Mr. Denny the honor of introducing his associate. Then again, I could claim that honor myself. I'm going to claim that honor myself because Whitby is a sight for sore eyes at this point. This is Mr. Denny's associate, a newly commissioned officer from London, Mr. Whitby. Mr. Whitby, I'm glad to meet you. Though it was just for a moment, I believe I saw Mr. Whitby's smile at the interest I took in him. Mr. Whitby likes us. So Mr. Whitby, it's a tongue twister, huh? I can't seem to say his name. So Mr. Whitby is a love interest. Bring on the boys, that's what I always say. Mr. Bingley was not alone. As in times past, he was accompanied by Mr. Darcy, who, though standing beyond the party, took particular notice at the mention of Mr. Whitby's name. Oh, it's so glitchy. It's supposed to be like a glance, like Darcy looks at Whitby. Whitby looks at Darcy. What's going on? Though I believe I was the only one who witnessed it, there was a clear moment of acknowledgement between Mr. Darcy and Mr. Whitby. Both changed color. One looked white, the other red. Mr. Whitby, after a few moments, gave a slight bow, a salutation which Mr. Darcy did not return. Huh. There's beef between Whitby and Darcy. And since we're playing the Bingley edition, our eyes are on Mr. Bingley, but hey, I want to keep my options open. Darcy's a no-go for this playthrough. I think I'll try for Mr. Darcy some other time. But Mr. Whitby can call me anytime. Mr. Darcy, for his part, continued on his way without providing any further information. What fortune in meeting an officer. I had just been wondering how to offer a general invite for the officers to a ball at Netherfield, seeing as I knew none, and this has provided me the perfect opportunity. Mr. Bingley always sees the good in people, in situations, in everything, including our shady designs on him. A ball at Netherfield? Yes, in a fortnight, though I wish it was sooner. As do I. Oh my God, Lydianne, there's too much. She's so embarrassing. I greatly hope that all the Miss Bennets will be able to attend. I thank you for the invitation, sir. I know of no prior engagement. That is good news indeed. Tell me, has your sister fully recovered? We were just on our way to Longbourn to inquire after her. Oh. Are you still into our sister? We're going to have to up our ante, huh? We're going to have to really try for you. She's very well, I thank you, sir. Splendid, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, so now we've got a choice of either indicating that Bingley's for our sister by saying, Jane thanks you, or by saying, yo, Bingley, what are you doing wasting your time with Jane when I'm here and I think you're amazing? So we're going to pay Mr. Bingley a personal compliment. With such excellent company as she had at Netherfield, her much improved state should certainly be no surprise. So we went closer to him and Bro took a step back. As always, you are much too kind. It was at Netherfield she took ill, you know. Because he's such a happy-go-lucky guy, he's like almost toxically positive. So I'm going to say the challenges and joys often come from the same place. Yes, I think that is rightly said. Mr. Bingley gazed at me a moment. I couldn't help but wonder what he might be thinking and what he might say in a different setting. As it was, looking a little lost for words, he gathered himself tolerably, and upon realizing the departure of Mr. Darcy, he asked his leave of us to catch up with his friend. But not before taking one last glance in my direction. But look at that grin, though, so goofy. What can I say? What can I say? Okay, that's the chapter. This is where she summarizes the ending, right? So the walk home was cheerful enough, though I was not left alone to my thoughts. Mr. Collins found plenty of his typical, I forgot that Mr. Collins even came with us. He's so annoying. I'm so glad that they didn't shove him in this chapter. Oh, it says that here. For he had been quite forgotten while we were in town. Thank God. I just want him to leave, Why is he still hanging out at our house? Maybe he's staying with us because our bedroom's upside down. What the hell? I'm really sorry about the glitchy game. It was an interesting day to be sure. So we met Mr. Wickby. We think he's good-natured and charming and friendly and handsome. But we don't really know why Mr. Darcy wasn't feeling it. So this is sowing the seeds of some drama. Something's going on between Wickby and Darcy. Obviously, we're not involved, but I hope we find out. So that's the end of this chapter. Okay, our suitors and acquaintances list is really filling up right now. We've only got one more slot for a potential suitor and one more slot for like a new friend. So let's first of all see how Bingley's doing. Wow, look how much Mr. Bingley likes us. This is really good news. This is really good news, at least for this gameplay. Okay, and then let's see our new pal Wickby. Yeah, he likes us. And boy, do we like him. Look at how our character's thirsting after Mr. Wickby. His appearance is greatly in his favor. He has all the best parts of beauty. Like, calm down. Okay, let's see what happens. What's going on with Mr. Wickby and Mr. Darcy? And will Mr. Bingley finally dance with us at the next ball? Will he tell us that he loves us? What will this mean for a relationship with Jane? So let's find out in chapter 6. Thank you for watching.